All right. Welcome everyone to our final, for now, our last for now, community wellness series. Tonight we've got some guided mindfulness and yoga with our friend Caitlin Moore, who's going to lead us for the next 50 minutes or so. If you missed it in the beginning, Caitlin said that we're going to be needing some kind of belt or a strap for today's class. So if you've got something like this, you can run and grab. That's great. And Caitlin also has a pillow. So if you want to grab those two things before we get started officially, please feel free. If not, I know that Caitlin is super good at helping us modify. All right, so I am gonna spotlight Caitlin's screen here so she is nice and big for everybody. And I think we are good to go. Caitlin, the show is yours.
Okay, great. Great to see everyone. I'm so excited to be back. So we'll be doing about a 50-minute yoga practice with a little bit of movement to warm up our bodies to begin, and then more into holding poses, and then we'll do a little bit of restorative to end to kind of have come full circle, a nice way to relax and just kind of float into the rest of your evening. So I'm going to begin. I'm sitting on a pillow. If you have something like that, you can sit on the pillow. It just helps me sit up nice and tall, and my hips are able to kind of open up a little bit more. So if that works for you, you can go ahead and do that. If not, you can just find a comfortable seat sitting cross-legged. I also like to sit with one heel in front of the other, so you can kind of just feel what works best for you. We'll go ahead and begin with the eyes closed. And just noticing all of the points of the body that are touching the floor beneath you. So feeling really stable here in our foundation. Noticing the temperature of the skin. Do you feel warm or cold? Noticing any sounds you may hear. So not judging them or naming them, but just observing. Starting to settle into our own bodies. Notice how the sits bones are grounded. And then draw your attention all the way from the tailbone along the spine to the very top of the head. So as you're drawing your awareness here, maybe you start to sit up a little bit taller. Maybe you start to relax the shoulders down the back. Maybe you also relax the jaw. Is there somewhere that you're gripping onto? Is there somewhere where you can let go? And then if you'd like to make an intention for our class today, you can go ahead and do so. And my intention for us as a whole is to carry the rest of ourselves through our practice without any judgment, just treating ourselves with kindness, just like we would do to a loved one. So we'll go ahead and take a deep inhale through the nose. Let it go out through the mouth. Let's do that again. A deep inhale through the nose. Cleansing out through the mouth. One more time, deep inhale. Full exhale, letting it all go. Beautiful. So we'll go ahead and if you'd like to open up the eyes, you can go ahead and do so. We're going to bring the hands to the belly. We're going to be doing some belly breath here. So this just helps us relax a little bit more when we send a deeper breath to the belly. Generally, we breathe just on our day-to-day basis into the chest. And our breathing is really shallow and constricted. And it's a nice practice to really take advantage of all of this area, which is most of our lungs fill up this area. All right, so we'll bring the hands to the belly. Take a deep breath in through the belly, filling the belly up with air. Exhale, bring that belly button towards the spine. Good. deep inhale, filling up the belly. Exhale, let it go. Beautiful. So keep moving like this, feeling your belly press into your hands. So kind of like the belly is a balloon, inflating with air and deflating. Couple more rounds. If you'd like to close the eyes, you can. We'll take one last deep, smooth breath and let it go. And if the eyes are closed, go ahead and blink them open. We're going to bring our hands to our rib cage. So I like to put the 4 fingers in the front body and thumbs behind. And what we're going to do is we're going to feel the expansion of the lungs as we're filling up the air in our lungs, and then you'll feel the ribs soften. So again, if you'd like to close your eyes, you can go ahead and do so, or find a soft gaze. We'll go ahead and send a deep breath into the lung. Feel the lungs open up from the sides, front, back, and let them soften. So continue breathing like this. Nice, deep, smooth breaths in and out. And as you're breathing, ask yourself, is there somewhere else I can soften in the body? We'll go ahead and take one last breath in, your biggest breath yet. And let it go. Beautiful. Go ahead and blink the eyes open if they're closed. And then we'll go ahead and come onto hands and knees, our tabletop position. If you're using a prop, you can just move it off to the side. All right, so our tabletop. Our wrists are directly underneath our shoulders. Our knees are directly underneath our hips. We'll do some cat-cows here. On the inhale, we'll drop the belly, arch the back, looking up towards the sky. And on the exhale, round the upper back, drop the chin towards the chest. Deep inhale, filling up the lungs, the belly, looking up. Exhaling to round down. Beautiful. So keep moving like this. If this is tough on your knees, you can place a blanket underneath your knees. If it's tough on your wrists, you can also make fists. Okay. So a couple different options here, but continue moving the spine with the breath. Beautiful. Let's take one more breath in as we look up towards the sky. Exhale to round down. Keep pressing the hands into the mat. And then we'll go ahead and find that neutral spine. Maybe you need to tuck the chin in slightly. Maybe you need to tuck the tailbone in. Bring that belly button in towards the spine. And go ahead and look over the left shoulder as you swing those hips over to the left side as well. So feeling the stretch in the neck, in the side body. And then we'll go ahead and come back through center over to the right. Hips swing over to the right as well. And then we'll come back to center. Beautiful job. So from here, we're going to go ahead and walk those hands in closer to the knees. And then we're going to kind of stand over our knees. Our hips are just above the knees. Inhale, reaching those arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart center. And again, inhale, reaching those arms all the way up. Exhaling, hands to the heart. One more time, deep inhale, reaching all the way up. exhale back down. Beautiful. We'll go ahead and find our tabletop again. Walking those hands out a little bit in front of us. We're going to tuck the back toes, send those hips all the way up to the sky, downward facing dog. So the backs of the legs might feel a little bit tight. Go ahead and start to walk the legs out, kind of like you're riding a bicycle. So pressing into one foot and then the other. And then bringing the weight into the wrists, but also the finger pads and the bottoms of the fingers, the base of the fingers there. So almost like you're gripping your mat. Beautiful. We'll take another breath here, filling up the belly, the lungs, and letting it go. And then we'll inhale that right leg all the way up to the sky. And on the exhale, we'll step that right foot forward, back knee down. So we're in this low lunge. We'll go ahead and walk the hands up to the top of the knee and then bend into that knee. So we're starting to open up the hip flexors here. Nice deep breaths into the belly and out. Beautiful. Inhale, we'll reach those arms all the way up. Maybe you look at your fingertips. And on the exhale, we'll bring the hands to frame the right foot, tuck the back toes, and step the left foot to meet the right. So now I'm in a forward fold. You can still have a nice healthy bend in the knees. Hold on to opposite elbows and let the head go. Let the head go completely. Maybe you bring some of the weight into the balls of your feet, okay? That's gonna lift your sits bones up towards the sky. Beautiful. So maybe you'd like to sway side to side, bending a little bit more into one knee and then the other. And then we'll go ahead and find stillness. Release the elbows down. Press into the feet, bend the knees deeply as we slowly roll all the way up the spine. So the head is the last to arrive. Go ahead and roll those shoulders up and back, up and back. And then we'll inhale, reach those arms all the way up ahead. Exhaling, hands to the heart. And again, inhale, reach those arms all the way up. On the exhale, we'll bend the knees, float all the way back down, reaching for the toes. Inhaling to a flat back. Hands can come to the shins or the thighs. You want the crown of the head to be reaching away from the tailbone. And then on the next exhale, plant those palms down, step back to plank pose. For this first round, we'll just come down onto the knees, lower all the way onto the belly. Inhale to find a little bit of a back bend. Press your hands underneath you, underneath the shoulders, and then tuck the toes. Come back to downward facing dog. And we'll be here for another breath. So deep inhale, filling up the belly, the lungs. Exhale, let it all go. And then we'll inhale that left leg all the way up to the sky. On the exhale, we'll step it through. Again, that back knee down. Go ahead and walk those hands up to the top of the thigh, bend into that knee. So notice that opening up in the right hip flexor, okay, maybe a little bit of the right quad. All right, we'll go ahead and inhale those arms all the way up, looking up towards the sky. And on the exhale, we'll go ahead and bring the hands down to frame the left foot. Tuck the back toes, step the right foot to meet the left. And then bend the knees, press into the feet, reach those arms all the way up overhead. And exhale, hands to the heart. Beautiful job. So we'll go ahead and bring the big toes together, heels slightly apart. Again, we'll bring those arms all the way up ahead, holding on to your right wrist. As you reach that wrist all the way up, come over to the left side. Beautiful. So this nice crescent moon shape. Be sure to twist those ribs up towards the sky so that we're not just dumping all of our weight into our hips. Beautiful. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhaling, hands to the heart. We'll do that with the other side, reaching those arms all the way up overhead. Grab a hold of the left wrist. Inhale as we lengthen that arm up. And on the exhale, coming over to the right side. So those hips come over to the left. This nice big crescent moon shape here. All right, we'll go ahead and come back to center. Inhale, reach both arms all the way up. Exhaling, hands to the heart. Nice job. We'll go ahead and go through another Vinyasa Flow. So inhale, reaching those arms all the way back up. Exhale, swan dive all the way down, keeping that back nice and flat. Inhaling to a flat back. And then exhale, plant the palms down. Step back to plank pose. Option to drop down onto the knees, or we'll do full Chaturanga. So that's when we bring our elbows back behind us so that we're coming down to a 90-degree angle. Untuck the toes, lift that chest all the way through the shoulders, finding your back bend, and then tuck the toes, downward facing dog. You can always drop down to your knees, okay? When we're in our down dog, we're gonna take 3 breaths here. So option to always come down to child's pose. Nice deep full breaths, just like we did at the beginning of class. Breathing into the belly and the lung. Beautiful. So we'll go ahead and inhale that right leg all the way up to the sky. And on the exhale, we'll step that right foot forward. So we're going to come into this high crescent lunge now. So if you need to widen your stance, please feel free to do so. If you need to shorten your stance, please feel free. And you can play around with this, see what works for you. So press into that front foot, activate that outer hip, finding your balance as you inhale, reach those arms all the way up overhead. Beautiful. So you want to make sure that your right knee is over your right ankle and that you're tucking that tailbone in. We'll take another deep breath here and let it go. All right, we'll go ahead and bring the hands down to our heart center in prayer position. And then we're going to do a couple of, I guess I call them little dips. So we're going to go ahead and bend that back knee. You're going to hover that knee a couple inches off the floor and then straighten that back. Back in our plank position. Go ahead and drop down to the knees or our full Chaturanga as we lower onto the belly. Inhale for a back bend and exhale, downward facing dog. We'll be here for 3 breaths, or you can take 3 breaths in child's pose.
Seems like Caitlin is having some technical difficulties. So we'll pause here for just a moment.
Sorry about that, everyone.
There we go.
Okay, I think I'm back. Okay, where were we? Downward facing dog? Did I leave you in down dog? Sorry about that. Hopefully you drop down to your knees for child's pose. All right, but we'll get right back into it. We'll do the other side. So I'm just going to flip over this way. So we'll meet all back in our downward facing dog, and then we'll inhale that left leg all the way up. And on the exhale, we'll step that left foot through. So we're back into this high crescent lunge. So press into that front foot, activate the outer hip. As you inhale, reach those arms all the way up to the sky, finding your balance. So nice deep breaths in and out. we'll go ahead and bring the hands together in prayer pose at the heart center. We'll do our little crescent lunge dips. So we'll go ahead and start to bend that back knee, hover the knee an inch or two off the ground, and straighten. 2 more just like that. Bend that back knee and straighten. Last one. Beautiful. So we'll go ahead and reach those hands down to frame the left foot. And this time we'll just go ahead and step back to plank pose, drop down onto the knees. So now we're back in our tabletop position. So from here, we're going to go ahead and walk those hands all the way back up to the knees, sitting back up on the knees here. Alrighty, so we're going to come into gate pose. And if you'd like to use some sort of prop, like your pillow or a block, something to kind of hold you up a little bit more, you can use that. We don't necessarily need one today, but just an option. So you want to make sure that the knees are directly underneath the hips, and then go ahead and extend the right leg out, okay? So nice extension here so that the arch of the foot is in line with the knee, okay? This is our gate pose. So we're going to go ahead and bring those arms out on either side, and then go ahead and drag that right arm all the way down the leg as you reach the left arm up overhead. So nice stretch here in the inner thigh. Keep twisting those ribs up towards the sky. Beautiful job. We'll go ahead and bring the arms back to parallel, and then take the left arm, bring it over to the left side. So this is where you can use some sort of prop, a block or a book to hold yourself up, or you can just bring that hand to the mat, reach the right arm all the way up overhead. Beautiful. So this nice, beautiful straight line from the outer corner edge of your right foot to the tips of your fingertips. Beautiful. We'll go ahead and bring our arms back to parallel. And then we'll drop those hands forward. So when we're back in our tabletop position with this leg extended out to the side. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and walk those hands back in, kind of like we're coming into child's pose, sitting back on the heels, reaching those arms forward. Maybe you're dropping the forehead to the mat. Beautiful. So we'll go ahead and start to walk those hands back in, coming back to our pseudo tabletop position. That right leg, we're going to go ahead and circle that right leg back behind us over to the left side. Tuck those toes and then look over your left shoulder. So a nice stretch here in that calf. Beautiful job. We'll go ahead and bring that leg back in, back to our tabletop position. And so then we'll do the other side. So we're going to go ahead and walk those hands back in, high up on those knees. Okay, the knees are directly underneath the hips. Extend that left leg out to the side this time. Alrighty, arms come out to parallel. And then we're going to slide that left hand down the leg as you reach the right arm up overhead. Nice deep breaths in and out. And then releasing arms back to parallel. We'll go ahead and drop the right hand down to the mat or to a prop. Reach that left arm all the way up overhead. And really pressing into the razor edge of your left foot here. One nice, beautiful diagonal line from the foot to the fingers. Beautiful. Swinging those arms all the way up, parallel to the ground. We'll go ahead and come back down to our tabletop hands and then walk those hands back. Send the hips towards the heels. Reach those arms out in front of you as if you were in child's pose with that extended leg. Beautiful. So we'll go ahead and come back up to our tabletop position. And this time we're going to send those left toes all the way back behind us, over to the right side as you look over your right shoulder. So feeling this stretch in the calf muscle, maybe even the hips, maybe a little bit of a stretch in the neck as well. Beautiful. So we'll go ahead and release that foot back to our tabletop position. And then we'll go ahead and find a seat. So just go ahead and swing those legs out in front of you. So we're going to go ahead and use our strap for the next couple of poses. So like I mentioned at the beginning of class, if you have a belt, a tie, a towel, anything will really do. So for this first one, we're going to go ahead and sit up nice and tall on our sits bones. Again, if you'd like to sit on a pillow or a blanket, you can. And then we're going to go ahead and take our strap, wrap it around the balls of the foot. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're not gripping around the arch of the foot. And then go ahead and loop around the hands. So one loop around each hand. Again, we're sitting up nice and tall here, and then just flexing those toes back towards you. Whenever you are ready, we'll start to lower the belly down, but we're going to continue to walk our hands closer to our feet. So for this, you might not even need the strap. Okay, but it's there for you. You can always just grab a hold of the feet if you could reach, or the toes as you're leaning forward. And we'll go ahead and do a little bit of movement here. So on the inhale, we'll extend the spine. That spine is nice and tall. On the exhale, fold forward. Inhaling to rise, extending through the tailbone to the crown of the head. Exhaling to fall. Let's do that again. Inhaling to extend. Exhaling to fold forward. Beautiful. We'll go ahead and come all the way back up. We'll bring our strap with us. And then we're going to go ahead and tuck. You can put that strap off to the side. Go ahead and tuck the right knee in so that the sole of the foot is right next to the left thigh. And then we're going to find a little bit of a gentle twist. So that right arm is going to come back behind you, acting as a kickstand as you sit up nice and tall. And then the left arm is going to wrap around that knee as you look back behind you over the right shoulder. So this nice gentle twist as you're hugging the knee in and twisting around. One last breath here. And on the exhale, we'll gently start to unwind. We'll come to a counter twist. So bringing both hands over to the left side. Again, feeling that spine unravel. So if we're twisting, the spine is like a spiral staircase. And now we're just twisting, unwinding the staircase. Beautiful. All right, we'll come back forward. Extend that right leg out in front. Hug the left knee in, sole of the foot on the ground, okay? Left hand comes back behind you, again, kind of like helping you, like a kickstand. Right arm loops around the left knee, hug that knee in towards the chest as you begin to look over the left shoulder, back behind you. Nice deep breaths in and out. And the next exhale, we'll gently start to unwind that counter twist over to the right side. Beautiful, and then we'll come back to center. Extending both legs out in front of us. We're going to go ahead and bring our arms parallel to the ground, palms facing each other, And then we're going to slowly start to lower all the way onto our backs. Beautiful. So whenever the shoulder blades reach the mat, go ahead and release, let that go. And then make sure you have that strap handy. We're going to use that again. We're going to really get into the backs of the legs here and the hips. So we'll start with that right leg. So go ahead and bend the left knee so that the sole of the foot is on the ground. And then we'll go ahead and bring that right knee in towards the chest. Bring the strap to, again, the ball of the foot. Okay, and then as you start to extend that leg up away from you, maybe you have enough room to loop once the hands around the strap. This just helps with our grip a little bit more. Okay, so gently start to pull that heel in towards you. Okay, so the right thigh is coming closer to the chest. You can leave the left leg where it is or extend it straight out in front of you. Either way, both feet are active, okay? And so hopefully everyone feels that stretch in the hamstring and the calf muscle. All right, so we're going to go ahead and stretch open to the right side. So go ahead and put both of the straps into the right hand. You're going to bring the left hand to the left hip to kind of anchor it down as you gently start to open the right leg out to the side. So you can bring that leg as far down as you'd like. You can also start to hug the thigh closer in towards the chest. And then we'll gently start to unwind, bring that leg all the way through center. As you bring both of the straps into the left hand, that leg is going to come over to the left side. So now we're in a little bit of a spinal twist, but make sure that both of the shoulder blades stay on the mat. Beautiful. So then we'll gently bring that leg all the way back to center. We'll go ahead and bend that knee, remove the strap from underneath you, and then we'll bring both soles of the feet to the ground, bending the knees. Nice job, everyone. So from here, we'll find butterfly pose. So walk the soles of the feet together, open the knees out towards the sides. Those heels can come as close to the body or as far away as you'd like. And you can kind of play with it. Notice the difference as you walk the heels away from you or keep them in close. We'll go ahead and bring the hands to the belly, and then a little bit of that belly breathing we did at the beginning of class. So deep inhale to the belly, feel the belly rise, and feel the belly fall. We'll take one more breath here. And then whenever you are ready, we'll bring the hands to the outside of the thighs. Gently start to bring the legs together. Nice. So we're going to set up for the other side. We're going to grab a hold of our strap. We're focusing now on the left leg. So go ahead and bend that left knee in towards the chest. Wrap that strap around the ball of the foot as you start to extend that leg out in front of you so that the sole of the foot is reaching up towards the sky. Looping the strap once around the hands, and then you can gently start to bring that leg in closer to the nose. You can leave your right foot where it is or extend that leg away from you. All right, and then we'll go ahead and bring both ends of the strap into the left hand. Right hand comes to the right hip to act as an anchor as you slowly start to open that left leg out to the left side. We'll take one more breath here. And then we'll start to walk that leg back through center. Strap comes over to the right hand as you bring the leg over to the right side. And then bringing the leg back to center, go ahead and bend that knee in towards the chest. Remove the strap from underneath you. And then both soles of the feet come to the ground if they haven't already. So we're going to go ahead and find bridge pose. So for bridge pose, we want to make sure that our ankles are hip distance apart, okay, so that they're directly underneath the knees. And then if you were to reach for your heels, you would just barely be able to brush your heels. That's about as far away as you want your feet. So whenever you are ready, we're going to go ahead and press into the feet, start to lift the hips up towards the sky. And then we're going to walk the shoulders underneath us, gripping our hands. So interlacing the fingers underneath the hips and press the mat away. As you keep pressing the mat away, lifting those hips up towards the sky, activating the glutes. You want to keep the chin tucked and looking up. Beautiful job, everyone. So whenever you are ready, we'll gently start to lower all the way down, nice and slow. And then we'll go ahead and walk the feet as wide as the mat, knock the knees together, and then we'll windshield wiper the legs. When we do this, we're releasing the low back because that might have been a bit of a heavy back bend there. All right, nice job, everyone. We'll start to walk the feet back underneath the knees and then hug those knees in towards the chest. So giving yourself a little squeeze, a little hug. Maybe it's a nice time to tell yourself something kind. Beautiful. Okay. So we'll come into happy baby. So we're going to grip for the outside edges of both of our feet. And you want to bend the knees towards the armpits. So those feet are, the soles of the feet are parallel to the ceiling. Tuck the chin in slightly and then bring the base of the spine, the tailbone, all the way down to the mat. Then if you'd like to rock from side to side, you can, massaging the back. And maybe you even take this time to really embody the pose. So what does it mean to be a happy baby? Maybe we can look at our toes with new eyes, with joy, with a different perspective. All right, so then we'll go ahead and hug those knees all the way back in, and then rest the soles of the feet on the ground. Nice job, everyone. So we're going to come into our final resting pose. So we're going to do a pretty lengthy yoga nidra. So you want to get comfortable here. If you want to put on an extra sweater, an extra layer, put some socks on. You can use your pillow or your blanket and place that underneath your knees if you'd like. That's really nice and comfortable if you haven't tried that before, or you can actually use your pillow or your head. Maybe you even want to dim the lights, get yourself really comfy and cozy. And so I'll guide us through a sort of body scan. Okay, so whenever you are ready, close the eyes, getting comfortable here. And bring your attention down to your toes, relaxing all 10 toes, relaxing the tops of the feet, the bottoms of the feet, relaxing the heels, relaxing the lower legs, the knees, all the way up to the thighs. Relaxing the glutes, the entire pelvis. So relaxing the entire lower half of the body. Nothing to hold on to, nothing to do. And then bringing your attention to your belly. Relaxing the belly completely, the low back, the mid back, and the upper back. The entire torso, including the rib cage and the chest. Relaxing the entire core of the body. And then bring your attention to your fingers. Relax all 10 fingers. Relax the tops of the hands, palms of the hands, the wrists, the forearms, the elbows, the upper arms, all the way to the shoulders. And drawing your attention along the neck, releasing the jaw. So parting the teeth slightly, but keeping the lips sealed. Letting the cheekbones feel heavy, the eyes feel heavy. And smoothing out the forehead. So relaxing the entire body.
Caitlin, do we lose you again?
No.
Oh, okay.
So we'll start to bring some movement into the fingers. Start to wiggle the toes. We'll start to move the wrists. Move the ankles. So as you're lying down in our Shavasana, maybe you even reach those arms up overhead, stretch through the legs, almost like you're waking up from a nap. And then as you're ready, rolling onto your right side, And pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat, just like how we started class. So keeping the eyes closed if you can. Coming back to that comfortable seat, sitting up nice and tall, being really aware of our spine, our core foundation. We move the spine in so many directions this evening. Actually, all 6 directions it's possible to move the spine. We move the spine. So feeling that lengthening, feeling that openness. And then we'll go ahead and bring the hands together in prayer position at the heart. And take a moment to recall the intention that you set for yourself at the beginning of class. And then honoring that by either carrying it with you throughout the rest of your evening or letting it go completely. And we'll go ahead and take a deep inhale through the nose, out through the mouth. 2 more like that. Deep inhale through the nose. Let it all go. Last one, inhaling and releasing. And then we'll go ahead and bring the thumbs up to the forehead for kind thoughts. Thumbs to the lips for kind words. And we'll bring the hands back to heart center. We'll seal in our practice bow by bowing our heads to our sacred heart space. Thank you for practicing with me, and please remember to thank yourselves for taking the time for you. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Thank you. Good lesson.